33, is this Montana? Is this Tomlinson? AFC West has been on fire today. Heck, the NFC West, too. It's been raining AFC and NFC West all day, man.
West Coast vibes.
West Coast vibes. What do we got? What do we got here? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Joe Montana.
Nice.
Beautiful salute to service authentic. Joe Montana. NFC West. Roderick Agmata. Single spot snipe. Joe Montana authentic for $38. My man, that's how we do, Roderick.
Joe Cool.
Joe Cool. 4 Super Bowl wins. 3-time Super Bowl MVP. It's not Tom Brady. It's Joe Montana, the best passer rating in Super Bowl history.
If you ask my dad who's the best quarterback of all time,
Let's go with that?
Joe
Yeah.
Montana.
Some people will still fight you over that.
Yeah, and I don't tell them they're wrong.
We have a customer, Fontes Merrifield, big-time Steeler fan.
Mm-hmm.
He's in and out these days. Used to be in regularly. He's now one of the biggest, fast food manager champions out there. Mr. Fontes, the great Fonz.
Mm-hmm.
We call him the Fonz. Hey, but he's a huge fan. Whenever we pull Brady, we call him the GOAT. Whenever we call Mahomes, is he the next GOAT? He says no, it's neither. It's Joe Montana.
I like it. I like it.
So, fantastic quarterback right there. Williams says, I can't believe I was praying for a lion, right? The Amon-Ra man. So, Roderick, great hit, Joe Montana.
Roddy.
He is at worst like the 4th or 5th best quarterback of all time. Pretty much, any list of the top 5 quarterbacks you see, I would say about minimum 90% of them have Montana on that list.
I mean, 15 years ago, he was easily the number 1.
He was?
Yeah.
Yeah, before Brady, before Manning, Breeze, Rodgers, Mahomes, before all these guys, he was considered the GOAT. And that's why comparing eras does get a little tricky.
Mm-hmm.
It is a little bit hard. Like, these guys these days, they're able to run, they're able to pass.
Yeah.
They can do all these things. The game is getting better. But what if you put Montana with the modern rules, the modern receivers,
On the modern Niners.
the modern nutrition, the modern Niners?
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it. I mean, they're probably already going to win the Super Bowl anyway. But if he's on the modern Niners, they might run the table.
One of the coolest players I ever played. One of my favorite stories I ever heard about football. It was a Super Bowl where they played the Bengals and they needed like a last 2-minute drive to win. And the players are in the huddle. They're getting around waiting for Joe to come out. And I forgot who they interviewed, but he was like, and Joe comes to the huddle with a smile on his face laughing. They're like, why are you laughing? He goes, look it, John Candy's in the stands. This is right before he's got to do a 2-minute drill to go try to win the Super Bowl. And he's like, oh, John Candy's in the stands. Does not care.
And
He's so cool.
And that confidence goes into his teammates.
Yes.
Like, I'm a stat guy. I love stats. Tom, I'm obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain stats that cannot be quantified, especially at the quarterback spot. The most important position in sports.
Absolutely.
There's no sport, no position that's more influential than the quarterback. And to be the guy, to be the leader, his leadership, unmatched. History of the NFL. Like you said, that story is a perfect example of that. But they call him Joe Cool for a reason. Now, whenever they do the mock drafts and they do the sort of like the analysis, the strengths and weaknesses, if a guy is a good leader and he's, clutch and he has those instincts, they say composure of a Joe Montana.
Yeah.
You'll hear that all the time.
Yeah.
It's a nice salute to service. It's Fanatic certified. USA flag on the back. This is an awesome helmet, Roderick. Joe Montana.